Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Colleen Witt, and today we have very special guest, model, and founder of the Dalai Mama, not Dolly, llama, right? Dalai Mama, like Mama Bear. Founder,
exactly.
Dalai Mommy, Dalai Mommy, Dalai Mama.
That too.
Oh my gosh.
That too. Dolly Mommy too.
Dalai Mommy too, okay. Yaris Sanchez is in the building.
Yay. Thanks for having me, Colleen.
Yes, and thank you for being patient while I do extra twists on the Dalai Mama.
Hey, all good. Thanks for being patient for me. I got here a little late.
You got here late, but you know what? I know you're going to feed me good.
Yes, I got you.
And I love that you prepared a secret sauce prior. It shows that you were definitely, you were game for this.
Yeah.
So what are you making me eat today?
So today we're going to eat a dish called Locrio. It's a Dominican dish, staple Dominican dish. It's a one-pot meal and it feeds a lot of people.
It looks like, when I saw all the ingredients, I was like, yo, I don't know if she knows it's a broke dish show. And then you were like, oh, it's one pot. And I went through the grocery store, and honestly, this dish, I think I spent like $30 or $40, and I knew you could have multiple servings. Like I got 2 packs of chicken with it, you know, like the whole nine. So it's definitely affordable, guys, and it's definitely can feed a whole family. Yeah. So what are the ingredients for your dish?
So we're gonna have rice, chicken, cilantro, orange, lime, olives, tomato paste, olive oil. It sounds overwhelming, but it really isn't. It's just a lot of spices and herbs and that add flavor more so. But like the staples are rice and chicken. And they're going to be cooked in one pot together.
And then you can run through the seasonings just to kind of tell them.
So we got cumin, oregano, paprika, salt and pepper, onion powder, adobo, and that's it.
Yep. And you did the
garlic
and the cilantro, right?
Garlic, cilantro, yes.
So while you get your butt in the kitchen, I want you to and say the name of the dish again. You said it with like a nice accent.
Yeah, it's called Locrio.
Locrio?
Locrio. Yeah.
I said it right?
Yeah.
Okay, so take me back to what was going on in the Locrio era.
Okay, so I'm going to start seasoning the chicken.
Start seasoning.
Okay, for sure.
I look forward to eating. And then you said this dish takes about maybe 40 minutes to make, but it's a one-pot dish. Yeah. So can people go home and just throw it all in their little, those little slow cookers? Or no? I've never used a slow cooker, but I was just wondering, like, because...
No, not even the slow cooker. You literally just put it in a pot.
Really?
In a pot.
Okay.
In the pot, you make rice.
I have a feeling that I'm going to go home and try to make this dish.
Yes.
Even though you didn't say did you say what was in the secret sauce?
No, I didn't. So this is sofrito. A lot of people probably know about this. This is a famous Dominican staple in the kitchen. Smell it.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That's going to be a lot of spice.
Yeah.
Oh, you wasn't playing. This is going to be spicy.
No, it ain't going to be spicy.
Oh, okay.
No.
It smells spicy.
It smells spicy, but it's not spicy.
Okay, so what's in there?
So we got bell peppers, cilantro, onion, garlic, lime juice. Honestly, it's whatever you want to put in it.
Wow.
You know, whatever you want to make. This is your base. You're going to season your meat with this. You can season your beans with this. So just like however you want to make it, you could add white onion, red onion.
Are you going to use that whole batch?
Nah.
Good. So can I keep some if it...
Yeah, for sure.
If it's a great dish, guys. I love to pretend like when we have good dishes on the show, like in front of guys, that like, yo, I just whipped this up, on my own. I freestyled it. And I'll be stealing the dishes from Eating While Broke. And I'm
dead.
Hey,
totally for sure.
There's been a couple things I took off this show and definitely made it for like a week straight.
Use your resources.
And be like, I made this on my own. I came up with it on my own. And no, you can't have the ingredients.
Oh, no, I don't need this in there. Okay.
Oh yeah, and you have tomato paste.
Yeah,
I got excited with the oranges too.
The tomato paste is gonna go after.
Okay.
Okay, so sofrito, garlic. We're gonna do a little bit of orange juice. You want me to take you back to the time
of
this dish?
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. Cooking and talking is so hard.
Are you serious?
It really is.
I've had guests that literally leave and be like, "Yo, that was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be." But,
okay. All right, let me get to it. Okay, so the last time I had this dish, actually, it wasn't that long ago, because it's good. But my mom used to make it at least once a week. It would be on rotation for the meals for the week. And we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment in Uptown Manhattan.
Oh, you're from New York?
Yeah, girl, I'm from New York.
Ah! Did you hear me make that tell you the Dominican story earlier? Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Dykeman and the Bronx.
Okay.
Born in Dominican Republic.
We gonna be homies. I'm from New York too. Okay.
Yes.
So how many siblings did you have?
2 sisters. I grew up with 2 older sisters that they came. So me and my mom migrated to New York City first, and then she sent for my sisters once she found stability.
You said migrated from where?
Dominican Republic.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you migrate here, and then she sends for the 2 other sisters. So it's just 4 women, or was 4 women living in a house, right?
Yeah, and my stepdad, who was around for a bit. Yeah, for a bit. A 1-bedroom, so we were sleeping in the living room. So we had a bed in the living room and the couch and stuff. So it was just like, we gotta
make it work.
Make it work.
And it's tough in New York because like they're really small apartments unless you got like one of the old school.
Yeah, they're really small apartments, and we were a bit crowded. I didn't have my own space, but we were obviously grateful. But it was definitely difficult for my mother especially to navigate coming to another country, not knowing the language. My stepdad was around for a bit, but...
Did he move from...
No, she met him
out in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
After, yeah.
So she's like super independent woman.
Yeah, no. My mom already was... she's the only one out of all her siblings that came to the United States. And then her sister's coming soon as well, but she made that leap first. And she wanted to give us a higher education, and she wanted to give us more than what she had. She came from a really small farm in Dominican Republic. And
was she young mom or older mom?
My mom had my oldest sister at 19. Then she had me, I know that she had me at 27. So.
Okay. Oh, so there's an age spread. But she moved to New York at the age of probably around 27 or 30, or how like
okay.
So
she's actually 30, like around that.
Okay,
actually.
so she's your mom's a powerhouse.
Yeah, she
is. This is a little bit of a gangster.
She is. She's super gangster.
Yeah, she sounds gangster.
Yeah,
that's a real independent move. A woman by herself with kids. Okay, now I see where the entrepreneur is coming in. Okay, so you grew up with your mom, and in New York.
Yeah.
What's the next play from there? I want to slowly land in the Dalai Lama lane. Okay. Dalai Mama.
Okay, so boom. I grew up in New York in the Bronx. So let me just cut to the chase. I had a daughter at 15.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. So I got pregnant when I was 14. I had my daughter at 15. Definitely was a decision that I wanted to make. At first it was really crazy. I didn't want my mom to know.
I was about to say, like, how'd your mom take that news?
Not well.
Did she whoop your butt? Because I have a Jamaican mom. Like, I would have, like,
Caribbean mom?
Yeah.
Caribbean moms
That's
don't
like the
play.
That's the for sure, like, I have to run away from home because I won't live. Did you do that?
I did. I actually ran away.
I'm running away. I'm changing my
for a few hours because they found me, but...
Oh, okay.
I actually did.
Before you told her the news?
Okay, so damn, I gotta really tell the story. We got 1 hour. Okay. So she found that I was pregnant because she looked through my book bag and found my Planned Parenthood note that said, I have an abortion scheduled. So I was going to go through with it and everything because I was like, my mom's going to
murder me. I would have done the exact same thing. So I would have been aborted.
I had to miss school that day so I could go handle that business.
And she went in your book bag.
And she went in my book bag out of, like, I call that divine intervention because that child, my daughter, saved my life. Okay. But we'll get to that.
Okay.
But she came in and was like, out of all days, never looked through my bag. Wanted to look through my book bag that day.
In front of you?
Yeah.
In front of you?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have just ran. I would have booked it. Is that the day you ran away?
Yeah. She grabbed the letter and I
I would have booked it. I'm with you. I would have been like, the fear of God would have, I'm dead.
I'm dead. So yeah, I ran away, but then obviously I was found. There's only so far I can go. We were like hiding at me and my baby daddy was like hiding at one of his friend's houses. He's like, yo, my mom's about to come home from work. You gotta go. I'm like, fuck. We didn't think this through, babe.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so I decided, my mom was like, no, you're gonna not have this kid. Like, we're gonna go to this appointment. You're not gonna have this child. And, I was like, fuck, I gotta do what my mama say. Yeah. Like, I already messed up pretty bad. So I gotta do what she says. I kind of had between that moment and the day of the appointment, I had some thoughts and a change of heart. And I was like, I actually don't want to. I want to have this baby. Like,
you told her that?
No, I had not. I was telling myself, I'm like, wait, I want to have this baby. So as I was sitting, the appointment came, she came with me. My sister came as well. And I was sitting in the waiting room and she was like outside and I was like, I can't go through with it. And I was like, what is she gonna do to me? Like, what's the worst that she can do? Is she really gonna kill me? She ain't gonna kill me. Like,
bruh.
I was like, I need to have my baby. So I like walked out and I said, I'm not gonna do it. And I stood on business.
But wait, you said it outside in public?
No, in the waiting room, yeah.
You didn't do it in the four corners of that apartment because I'm sure we would not be having this interview right now.
Yo.
So you tell her, and what did she say?
A scene breaks out at the Planned Parenthood, and she's just like, how can you guys allow it? She's a child. And they're like, well, it's her body and it's her choice. That's the law here. That don't fly in the Caribbean, girl.
Bro, I'm telling you, I would have never lived to see another day. I would have had to run away. I love this story, by the way. It just makes me love you.
Aww.
But it's such a good story. So she embarrasses you in the and you still stick through to it.
No, I stand on business 100%.
Okay.
I'm like, nope, I'm having it. And, she loses it and then the following weeks after that at my house.
Wait, how was your baby daddy taking the news too? Did he?
He swore up and down. He was like, that's my baby. You ain't gonna kill my baby.
No.
I'm like,
he was young too, right?
Yeah,
he 15?
I was 15. He was 16 or 17. Okay.
You guys were young and in love.
Young and in love. And it's just like, okay. And and then, but the weeks after that were really hard. For me, but more for my mom. I mean, I don't know for who more, honestly, but I just could hear my mother crying through like the walls. And, we've talked about it now looking back. And, I learned that like she got on antidepressants because of that.
Oh,
she was on antidepressants for like 20 years.
For that? Because of that, or wow.
That was like the breaking point for her. I think she was like, my mom was a single mom struggling and stuff. So like in general, she didn't
want that.
Yeah, she didn't want that. She really tried to protect me. It wasn't really so much like she was being an asshole mom. Like she just was really trying her best to stick to the plan. I want my daughters to just like not get distracted and not get But sometimes I just feel like when you shelter your kids too much, it tends to make them want to like break out and do more because it's like, oh, this is my only opportunity to leave the house. I'm gonna do it all. But like, I know it's ridiculous, obviously, like that thought process.
I had girlfriends I saw that. Like,
but we were kids, so
anytime I knew kids that like their parents like restricted them to the max, the second they got loose, they went 0 to 100. and it was just like it did the complete opposite. And they had them watch, but that 10 minutes they weren't.
Bro,
0 to 100.
Yeah, it's literally that. It's like, and the law of energy, law of the way the universe energy works. Like, too much on something is just gonna explode. And
so during the pregnancy, so I had best friends in school that, you know, had kids at high school. How did your whole like high school atmosphere, teachers, and how was your mom treating you during the pregnancy? Not trying to stir up some beef between you and your mom.
I'm dead.
You know what I'm saying? I get it if you be like, I plead the fifth, you know?
No. I feel like I've worked through all this in therapy. Mm-hmm. No, but so high school was very, very interesting. I was a freshman, so I was definitely a baby. You know, I definitely got a lot of looks from a lot of teachers. I had some teachers that were really supportive. Like I had a math teacher that he had a cushion for me for the chair, like ready for me, and like, you know, and then I had obviously not so many like displeasing looks, like kind of like, you know, like damn, you know. And, you know, I had like people tell me like, okay, so what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna even graduate on time? Like, you're not, you know, you're gonna be a statistic like all these other girls who get pregnant. You know, you're from the Bronx. You don't have too many opportunities or whatever the case. So for me, I took that as a like challenge accepted.
Like I'm gonna prove all y'all wrong.
Right. And
I like that. That's why you said that earlier about the goals. Okay, got it.
Because like that for me is like challenge accepted.
Okay.
You know, I'm about to show y'all.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's exactly what I did. You know, I mean, I graduated on time. After I had my daughter, I went straight to school. Like, I think I took off like 2 weeks maybe, or like 3 weeks. And like, I went back to school.
Did your mom make you make a promise that you were like going to complete school or something during it? Or did she kind of...
didn't make me make a promise, you know. Like, my mom didn't really... I mean, obviously, she was like, I just want you to do like the right thing. And once she found out like the gender, she like warmed up a bit, and she was like, oh, it's a girl. Like, we weren't talking for months. And then when it was the day of my appointment for my ultrasound, she was like, oh, did you find out the gender? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what is it? And then I was like, oh my gosh, she's curious. Like, it made me really happy. And then she was like, oh, it's a girl, and then forget about it. Since then, she would like come home from work with baby clothes. And of course, then she just got mad excited for this child.
Aww, I love that. Yeah. I love that, because I was scared for you. I was genuinely like, I would have been terrified.
No, honestly, it was terrifying. It was terrifying. It was really difficult. And then like, okay, to top it all off, 3 months later, my other sister comes out pregnant. And so she has 2 teen daughters in the house pregnant.
You guys giving your mom
hell.
Yeah, you giving her.
My poor mother. Literally, I just say my poor mother all the time.
I will say this though, that's a strong character. That's a unique character and I don't know, I'm deathly afraid of my mom, like straight up. Like, my mom could give me a look and I'll run right now at 40. But I think that takes a lot of guts to stand in that truth of that moment. Like, I want to keep the baby and like see death on the other side of the door. Because I know, as like having an immigrant mom, like everyone, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, can relate. Like, yeah, you're not gonna live. That takes a lot of courage to stand on that. Yeah. So like, what did you say? You about your business? What'd you say?
I stood on business.
You stood on business. You definitely stood on business. So then your sister saw you stand on business
and was like, I'm gonna stand on business too. Oh. No, literally, like that was like, I felt like that was the thought process. Like, she was like, wait a minute, if Yari got away with it. It was like literally some shit like that. And then my mom at that point,
you were like, girl,
she just was like she was just like, just forget about it, bro.
You guys are stressing her out.
It was just too much.
So and 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Okay, the third one didn't do it.
The third one, no, but the third one had her own set of issues. She just passed away in December.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And you know, my sister, my oldest, had a really hard life. You know, she struggled with her mental health. She was like diagnosed pretty late with bipolar disorder. Like, you know, women get diagnosed with mental health disorders such as like ADHD, bipolar, really late in life. They just kind of say, oh, she's a troublemaker. Like, she's just a troublemaker. She's a hothead or like whatever. And like usually those symptoms go what do you call it, unnoticed or just like swept under the rug, you know? So yeah, she, you know, struggled with her weight as well. As a teen, she was pretty obese, and then she had like the surgery and like, but then she got addicted to drugs and alcohol, and then
well, that's not good for that. If she had bipolar,
exactly,
right?
It was she couldn't, you know, people who have bipolar disorder, you cannot participate in those things. You know, you can't even smoke weed, low key. Yeah. So
and that was going undetected for that whole time.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah. So then, she passed away, an overdose, this past December. And since then, I definitely have had to be like step up and be the matriarch of my family, be the person who takes care of and looks after my mother. And isn't that crazy how I'm the baby, I'm the youngest.
Wow, yeah.
You know.
But that was your oldest, right?
Yeah, that's my oldest sister. Yeah, and
then I imagine your mom took it really hard.
Yeah, it's been hard. Yeah. It's been hard for. You know, grief doesn't go away. Like, you just learn to live with it. And it becomes something else, I think, over time. Because there's moments, I mean, it's fresh. Like, there's still moments where I'll listen to a song that she liked, and then I'll, like, start fucking crying in the car while I'm driving and shit, you know, just thinking. And what I think about the most, really, is, like, what a hard life she had, more than anything else. It just, like, makes me feel so, like, bad, you know?
Yeah. I was talking with Van Lathan. I was talking to him about trauma, because that's a trauma. Like, everyone that's around that situation that happened to your sister that's a trauma, right? Yeah. And I was asking him, like, can people can you survive trauma? And he said something really interesting. He's like, you know how the rings are in a tree? He's like, they don't go anywhere. The tree can still grow over it. He's like, but that trauma still lives there. Yeah. So it's like, when you say you hear that song, well, I mean, it's still recent, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like kind of just resonating with what you said in regards to, like, grief being a while, like, that's a very traumatic experience you have. So, like, just learning how to kind of be a tree and grow around the ring. Right. But knowing that ring is, like, probably not going to go anywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's just been, then my other sister, I'm a very big wellness advocate. We're jumping a little bit, but, you know, I founded Dalai Mama because of just my upbringing. Like, so my other sister she's the middle child. She, has schizophrenia. She developed schizophrenia later in her life, in her late 20s. And she's been struggling with also adapting to that. And I literally just had to help, you know, get her proper care and stuff. And so that's 2 sisters down.
And where in this story did you go? Because you're living in New York, right? And then... Yeah, wait. I don't want to skip too much around. So you're living in New York, because now you became the matriarch. It sounds like later.
Now.
All right. Yeah. Now. Today. And your where does your mom live now?
She's back in New York still.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Take me back to how you end up here.
For sure. So, high school, graduated.
Stand on business.
Stood on business. I've talked about this before through my cooking series on Instagram, but the father of my daughter, my baby father, also unfortunately got addicted to drugs as well after my daughter she was 2. And you know, the street drug Angel does, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a dangerous one.
That's a bad one, yeah. So it really slowed down his development, and so he just hasn't been able to bounce back since. So when that happened, that's when it clicked for me, like, oh shit, like, I'm doing this shit, like, on my own, low key. You know what I mean? And then
that had to have been tough, because I
so then I had prom. So prom came around. This is pivotal. Prom came around. I couldn't afford prom. You know, they make you buy these packages and shit and all that stuff. I couldn't afford it. And I was kind of dipping into music videos at that time. I had did my first music video when I was 17. And I was a junior in high school. Right? So it was like a pretty big deal. It was on TV and stuff. So everybody was like, oh my God, like, it was just like the teen mom who's like also a video vixen. It's just like, what is going on? There's a lot, but hey.
Them girls was probably hating on you.
Kinda, maybe. I don't know. I do a baby voice sometimes. That was awkward.
No, I like it.
Okay.
So you.
No, I like it.
So what happens at the prom once you realize you can't afford it?
Okay,
you start
here we
doing
go.
the videos or?
Okay, so I had met this guy who did like BTS for music videos, who was also like knew a lot of dancers, strippers. So I was like, yo, I need to make some money real quick. Can you take me to the strip club so I can make some money for prom?
Oh, you trying to get your mom to murder you. Got it. Like, fuck. Your mom's gonna kill you.
Like, yo, this girl got balls. What is going on with this girl?
Okay, no, I get it though. I ain't gonna lie. If I looked like you and had the body that you had, I would have been like, for sure. And I needed to make some money, I would have done the same. No lies.
Yeah.
So okay.
So wait, I put too
And
much.
you had a baby too. So
Yeah.
like, yeah.
So he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, come on. So he took me to some hole in the wall in Hunts Point, right? Oh shit, I didn't measure this. Hold on. Y'all see, this is why. I'm gonna use
You're
this.
hilarious. Use your cup. This story is really
It's
good,
juicy.
by the way.
It's a juicy story. I'm gonna have to write a book.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yo, this story sounds really good, by the way. There's like, I'm like, yo, I can't, and it's crazy because I can't like miss I have to remember the little milestones that you skip and it'll backtrack you. But all right, so you go to the strip. How old's this guy that's like helping you out?
Old dude, man. Got out of jail and shit. Lives in the
God.
projects.
Oh my
Telling you,
God.
hood tales. So, he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah. So he takes me to this like strip club, hole in the wall in Hunts Point in the Bronx. You know Hunts Point. Hunts Point is not good. I don't need to be at Hunts Point.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's do it. And and he takes me and he's like, yo, like it literally was like a movie. Looking back on it now, but I was in it. So when you're in it, you're not looking at it like that.
17-year-old dangerous as heck situation.
So he was like, yo, this is my little sis. Like, you know, she's trying to make some money. Like, make sure you look after her. Da, da, da. So like,
Come on.
make sure you look after her. Da, da, da. And I was like, and then I just like went on stage and I was like doing my little bullshit dance because I definitely did not know how to pole dance.
Yeah.
And I made like $200, $300 that night or something like
Are
that.
you serious?
Yeah.
That's good money for a teenager. Hell yeah.
So I was like,
Shit, I would have been like, when I come back.
I did.
Yeah, that's what I would have said. That's what I would have said.
Yeah, so at the time I was working at Children's Place, retail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely would have never been back at Children's Place. My mom would be like, where is she at? She would have put you lucky the rings weren't around, you know, where you put the GPS tracker. You lucky
my
your mom
God.
didn't have access to that.
But listen, my mom ended up finding out later and she just laughed.
She
Because
laughed?
at this point, I just feel like she was just like, yo, you're nuts, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she's like...
She's like, I'm laughing because I'm about to kill you. Like, you got 10 seconds. You got 10-second head start.
Yo, I'm dead. No, but I ended up going back. And I actually was a stripper for like 2 years. I did it. After high school, I continued it. But then at the same time, simultaneously.
And your mom found out how long into the stripping?
Maybe like a year in, she kind of like found the outfits in my closet. Like, you know.
You're not good at hiding shit. You're terrible. I would have hid that shit in the back of a freezer or something.
I'm sad. So she found it and was just like, "Tú estás bailando en el tubo."
What does that mean?
She's like, "You're pole dancing?" I was like, "Yeah." To earn some extra cash, and she was just like, "Ah, my goodness." And then she mentioned college. She was like, "You need to go to college."
And then I'm just curious. It sounds like drugs were very relevant and probably popular. Even if your baby daddy starts doing angel.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, what stopped you, or did you ever partake in the drugs scene?
So I definitely not that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I love weed.
Okay.
But
but even in the strip clubs, like that stuff is pretty prevalent.
It is. And I actually didn't, because I was scared because of what I saw it do to my baby daddy, because he was tweaking, you know, and my sister, my older sister, you know what I mean? I just was scared to like not be in control. So I just didn't really want to participate. So I actually was pretty good about that.
Yeah, they scared you straight, pretty much, right? Yeah.
I just would drink though. I would drink a little bit to just kind of take the edge off, which is also just very unhealthy, obviously. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But you were like extremely stressed. Like imagine a 15-year-old or 18-year-old.
18 now, yeah.
Did you end up going to prom, by the way?
I did.
Okay, good. See, you stand on business. Okay. Mad respect, but you're also from New York, so I'm not totally shocked.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's so funny because when you were calling out the 917, for some strange reason, I did not think you were a New Yorker. And then the second you said it, I said, girl, her number was 917. Like, how you didn't see that? Okay. So your mom just kind of rolls with the punches. Like, at this point, I can't control her. So
right. And I'm like,
and you're paying the bills at this point because you're really making money.
Yeah. I was looking after my daughter, and I was like putting down, you know. So, okay. So what's next? There's so much.
So you go, you do 2 years of the stripping, and you're taking care of business.
Okay.
And you graduate high school.
Graduate high school. Then at this point, 2 years in, I'm deep in as well in the music video, I guess, world. Did a few music videos, and I had a platform on Twitter. That was when Twitter first came out. So that's when like the whole having an audience, having a following became a thing.
Yeah.
And by natural way of things, people started like following me a lot because they kept seeing that girl in the videos. Hence now the popularity. From that, yeah.
Oh, okay. What videos were you in?
So I rocking that thing, the dream. I did like French Montana was the biggest one. The shot caller one was the one that I think everybody knows me from the most.
Okay. And then when you were doing those, how did that impact you in any way, good or bad? Like the behind, like, you know, if you had to be looking back.
I mean, honestly, I just like. I realized that, you know, women are just so undervalued, mistreated, treated as commodities, as objects, you know, and although, I was making money from my looks, I felt like I had so much more to share, so much more to talk about, so much more. Like, this was just me trying to make some money on the side. Like, I wasn't like, I'm going to be the world's best video vixen. It was just really like, I was trying to make some dough on the side, you know? And everybody was like, you're super thick and curvy. Like, you should do it. And obviously, those women, I grew up looking at music videos. I was like, damn, one day I want to be like her. And like, you know, so it was very cool when I was in it. It was fun. You know, I got to travel. But then there was also that side of it that I just felt like just super dismissed and pushed under the rug and not seen, not valued. Yeah. I did when I first moved to LA, I did like Soul Train. God, please God, I hope I shouldn't have even confessed this. And I did I think it was like 50 Cents in the Club. And I did like, I think Eric Sherman did the with Redman a song, and but anyways, what I had seen in the industry was like they were just definitely predators. It was a predator filled. Sure. You just couldn't trust anybody really. For sure.
And it like literally it was like I walked in one door and was like I'm walking out the other because the dudes were just so obnoxious, and it wasn't ever like the main talent. It was like whatever guy was in the background affiliated with the main talent.
Trying to get you.
Yeah.
I've definitely had my share of that when I was in it. Just men that were like, oh, like you're trying to be in this music video. And I'm like, bro, it's never that deep. Like, never that deep. It was never that deep. Like, you know, I will say I was definitely preyed on, right? That's the word. Yeah. But I will say that like, I wasn't down.
Yeah, I think too, if you've been approached 1,000,001 times, I think it's easier to say no.
Right.
You'd be like, okay, let's see this. What's your? I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I've been with the Christian guy, the bad boy, the older guy, the younger guy, and I was like, yo. All of them are just the same guy, just dressed in different sales outfits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get to the point where it's just like, now I just need reference checks. Give me your 3 ex-girlfriends' numbers, or
right.
And we'll go from there. So after this, is this when you start to move to LA?
Do you want an update on the dish? I'm about to cover it.
Yeah, I saw you put bouillon in it, cilantro. Yeah, give me the update. It looks really delicious, by the way.
Okay, so right now, the rice has soaked up the water. The chicken is pretty much cooked because now it's just the last bit of the cooking when the rice cooks with it, if that makes sense. Am I speaking English? Sometimes I don't even know if I'm talking English. But yeah, now I'm going to cover it. I put some cilantro in it. And we're going to lower the fire.
Yeah, I was going to say, that fire's up high.
Yeah, we're going to lower the fire. I'm just waiting for the...
I got nervous the second that plastic flew over to that electric. I was like, ooh.
All right. I just don't want the rice to come out.
I feel like, you know what? I wonder, do Puerto Ricans make this dish?
Yeah.
I feel like I've had this at my homegirl's house
I'm sure
before.
you have.
I'm genuinely like, I wonder how spicy it's going to be because I smelled that sauce.
It's not spicy at all.
I'm going to try it. It looks good. It looks like I'm going to get leftovers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So is this, at this point, are you still, you needed an apron. Look at you. You totally needed an apron.
I'm so glad because I was going to ruin my fit. God damn.
So you, at this point, you're still in New York doing all of this stuff?
Yes, I'm still in New York doing all this stuff. You know,
are you still with your baby daddy during all of this?
No. Me and my baby daddy were done when I was 18.
Okay.
Around that time, I had ended it because it was definitely like just unhealthy and it wasn't even safe anymore, and it was just like, we had a plan, and like, you ain't stick to the plan, bro.
Yeah, he wasn't on business. Wasn't standing on business. That's gonna be my term for the day. I stand on business. Change my name in all your phones. If you have my number, I stand on business. Okay.
Yes.
I like that. I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah.
So now you're a single mom. You're totally now. Are you still living with your mom? Are you guys all like sticking together as one solid team?
Yeah. So my mother, being the amazing mom that she is, once that she saw, like, obviously she's gonna have grandkids. I don't know how she did it, but she always surprises me. Moves into like a bigger apartment.
Oh, wow.
So that we each
I love her.
I love her too.
I love her. Okay, I love her.
She moves to a bigger apartment where we each have our own room, so that we could each have our room with our kid.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love her.
So, and then my oldest sister had her room. She had a room, and then she was just such a great grandmother, and just been like so supportive. And yeah, so during that time, I'm in New York, and I'm living with my mom still. I move out when I'm like around 20, 21 to my own place.
Still very young.
Like 20,
you were really standing on business. Yeah, you were focused.
Yeah. I was forced to grow up so fast because of the responsibilities with my child and around me. Like, I feel like I absorbed everything, and I watched, I never meant to like cause my mom any harm by having this child. This was just something I wanted to do.
Yeah. But you were also a child making a decision as a child, right?
Exactly.
Like, looking back, I don't want to ask that question because now you have skip that question.
Never mind,
because that would have came out totally weird. But I'm just saying, like, because, looking back, like, I was joking with you earlier, like, they don't tell you all the realities of becoming a mom. You kind of have this vision of like what they show you in the movies. I'm like, but they don't showcase that fine print.
Yeah.
So like looking back, the reason why I was retracting the question is because now I have a daughter too. It's like once you love your child, obviously you would never take it back, but like you really realize like you didn't really know all what was entailed, like what was signing up.
Of course, yeah. and it comes out. It comes out later on in bits and pieces as the child starts getting older. I'm like, damn, like for a long time, I dealt with the guilt of, because I didn't grow up with a father, and I'm like, damn, I didn't give my daughter that. Fuck, I was selfish. You know, I dealt with that guilt, but, you know, I've healed from that. And, you know, those things are not mine to control. But, you know, yeah, it comes out, and then you think, damn, I didn't think this through. It's not just all like changing diapers and dressing her up like a little doll. You know, it's a lot more work. You're raising an actual human being to be a decent human in this world. Yeah. And that takes a lot of work because of all the outside influences that we have to be up against as parents. Yeah. You know?
I always tell people the second you walk out your front door, you're being sold to. Whether it's the car you drive, the candy, the chips at the aisle, McDonald's, whatever, billboards, sex, whatever, drugs, alcohol. The second you step outside of those four walls, everyone's like, give me some of your money. And so if, as a parent, could you imagine you're like, eat this home-cooked meal, stay in the house, and they're not with you when you're getting sold outside all the time. So yeah, it's a lot of...
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And yeah, I definitely, there were times where I felt really lost. There were times where I missed a lot, you know, for my kid as well, because I was traveling. I started hosting clubs. This was when Instagram then started popping off, and then the following count and all that stuff started to matter. And from that and the music video, The French Montana, I was able to travel, you know, all of the United States and even to the UK because they wanted to meet the girl from the music video. It was dope. It was like, damn.
Wow. So they're paying you to just be in the clubs and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And this was an era. This was an era. Do you not remember this?
I do. I remember when people
the hosting clubs. Era,
I remember that. They still do that kind of.
They do.
Yeah.
They still do.
Not as much, but yeah, they do it.
Yeah.
But are you drinking at this time too? Or do you think that like you were starting to, because that's a weird space you're in too, right?
Yeah, like I didn't develop an addiction to alcohol, but like at these things you're drinking. Yeah, you're at the club. You're having a drink or two.
Does it feel like work as you're doing it? Yeah or no?
Because
you were young, right?
Yeah, I was young, and there were moments where I had to check myself and be like, girl, like be grateful that you're making a living this way, because a lot of people work a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? But there were moments where I would be a bit ungrateful of the situation or whatever. But it was a lot of fun. And
did you feel now? Some women, like, it looks like you're just naturally, you know, like fat goes in wherever, everybody's different where the fat goes. But did you feel pressures to maintain a certain level of beauty?
Yes.
Or beauty standard?
Yes. Yeah, we can touch on this. So, yeah, girl, when I was in the strip club, the girls that were making a lot of money had the big butt, small waist ratio situation. I definitely always had a nice figure, but I went and got ass shots. Back in the day, yes. And then I got them removed back in 2016 for my health. I had gotten breast augmentation as well. And all of this was to appease the male gaze and to make more money from the male gaze. You know, it never really felt like anything was done like for me at that time. And then I had like my awakening.
Yeah, but it's I know you're saying it's for the male gaze, but I mean technically, like I've only been with you for a little bit, but you scream entrepreneur. Like you are definitely 100% entrepreneur. So it's like you're in this industry where you're looking over and you're like, well, the product is making more money over here. Yeah. So is it like, do you think it was male gaze or more like, okay, if this is just a business move, but maybe you don't realize like what the fine print of the negative of this investment could be.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I looked at it. Like I was like, oh, the money's over here. Bet, you know, I'm trying to make the best money move. So definitely looked at it like that. But then you don't really realize what goes behind, you know, closed doors, which is just like a lot of times women doing drugs in the locker room. Yeah. Or I definitely, you know, this happened to me twice where I got drugged.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's got to be like extremely scary.
Yeah, for first time I was able to make it home. Thank God. But it's very scary out there, for real. It was really scary. And the second time it was actually by a doctor who drugged me. I went on a date. You know that drug The
date drug? Yeah, where you wake up and you don't remember. Mm-hmm. Were you able to like what do you call it? Like turn him in or anything, or did you go through the phase? I'm gonna just say this just from speaking from a woman's standpoint of like, well, if I hadn't put myself in this position, then it's like almost like it's my fault that it happened.
Of course, I went through that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I definitely did go through all of that. Like, it's my fault for putting myself in this position, but also I was like literally on a date, like at an actual restaurant, and then from then on, shit went left. Like I don't even, but. I thought about it being like my fault and stuff, and I didn't press charges or anything.
Yeah, a lot of women do that. Yeah. A lot of women. I got to a point in my 20s where I only did breakfast and lunch dates because guys had so many different games of like, well, we went to dinner and like you're teasing me or whatever, and I was like, yo, if I could reduce any of these like extra stupid ass pressures, like, and I remember like. And then I started creeping up just more to breakfast, and dudes would be like, breakfast, click, like, fuck you, like, but it just got to the point where it was just like, I'm sick of battling myself over something you're doing, I've been in a situation where you're saying no to a guy, and the guy's like, no, and you're like, well, am I gonna end up like a scene on the movies, like where I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's crazy out there, and then you just start to think, well, if I wouldn't have put myself in this situation, really, it's not the case. But I just remember when I was younger, I would always go, okay, maybe I could try something different. But like you said, a date, a normal setting, you don't think those things happen.
And then also, you're like, doctor. Yeah. Oh, he's a doctor. Yeah. It's just
that actually happened to a girlfriend of mine like a couple years ago. Young, beautiful girl, influencer, similar situation. Hers ended pretty bad. It's scary. And it took a lot of courage for her to come out and like address it and, and still traumatized from it.
Yeah. It definitely made me I just didn't want to be a part of the nightlife world anymore. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to do other things, and I just wasn't sure what, at the time I was 21. Mm-hmm. This is when I was done with the strip club and
hosting and videos.
Hosting kind of went on still because, the money came, I had to pay the bills. But around this time, I started to, I guess, go back to the things that brought me joy as a teen and as a child. And I wanted to do something more for me as opposed to just like money. I think that was like what my thought process was at the time. And also, I was just like bullied online so terribly. I was suicidal. When I got the breast augmentation a year later, I had like complications with it, and I needed to get them removed. And I just was like, I remember being in my, like, back in my mom's house because like she had to take care of me, and I'm just thinking like, what the fuck? Like, like this is not it. Yeah. Like none of this is it. And I want out. And I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I want out, And I think I had like when people say you had an awakening. So like after that, I was like, I had an awakening, and but it was hard. I was like also battling with my mental health. I had severe panic attacks, anxiety. I think definitely was PTSD for sure. But all throughout my 20s, I had some really bad panic attacks.
Do you mind describing like what that panic attack felt like, just for people that don't even know if they're experiencing one?
So for me, it felt like I had this fear that I was gonna lose my mind. Because like I was in my head, and like when you're in your head, you're almost like analyzing each and every thought that comes into your mind, and it drives me insane. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're in your head too much. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I do that all the time. I'll be like, I just telling Jared earlier. I'm like, yo, people don't need to tell me negative things about me. I do that very good job all by myself. You ain't got to point out that.
Right. I'm the first one.
I'm like, I'll do it. But I'm curious, your sisters struggled with a little bit of mental health. Did that also like make what you were going through worse? Or was that around the time where you had discovered like maybe one had bipolar, one had schizophrenia, and then you start to be in your head a little bit more?
Exactly.
Okay.
This was at that time with the panic attacks. Yeah, my sister had her mental breakdown, and then my other so I was like, also damn, like my sister's like that's gonna happen to me as
of
well.
course, yeah.
So I was like, really
I would have been scared,
yeah. And it really stemmed from just a really awful experience that I had at the emergency room in the hospital. Another reason why I started Dalai Mama and things like that, which will I guess get to.
Let me tell you something. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing Dalai Mama. I'm
get
seeing
it,
where
like
it's
seeing
and
right.
I love hearing it because. Okay, go on.
So my panic attack stemmed from a really horrible experience I had in the emergency room in the hospital in the Bronx. I had come from a really long flight in London, and I have really bad back problems. I have a hip impingement syndrome, and my back was killing me, yo. Like, I was in so much pain, like, from just sitting on the plane and stuff. Like, you don't really get comfortable on the plane, you know? So I was like, damn, I think I'm gonna have to go to the ER. I'm in so much pain. Like, I don't take narcotics or like perks or anything like that. But I was like, I think I need something really strong. So I went in there and I was telling them about my pain and like my day and like what I had gone through. And, you know, I told them, I said, I need something really strong. So they see a brown woman asking for pain meds. First thing they think is she's an addict.
Yeah.
So instead of giving me what I know is okay for my body, they gave me a concoction of medication and sent me home. And then I was hallucinating.
Oh, no.
I
thought you were going to say they gave you, like, baby Tylenol or something.
No, they injected me with some shit, gave me some pill, I don't know what the fuck, sent me home. Girl, I was hallucinating. I was not myself. I was having a psychosis episode.
Yeah.
And I had to go back to the emergency room. Yeah, like, I remember being at my mom's house and just, like, my daughter was coming up to me and like this was like after the hospital and I was just like I just didn't even it's like I didn't even know who she was. It was so weird.
Oh no, yeah.
So then I went back to the hospital.
Yeah, that would scare anybody.
Yeah, I went back to the hospital and I was like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, what is going on? And then they were like, I had to explain to them that the night before I was here for pain and they gave me, I don't know what they gave me, but they need to look at what they gave me. So there was nothing I could do but wait it out. And it was the most awful experience of my entire life.
That would have, So that led to even more.
Yeah, and at that time I was dating my ex, and he was on the phone with me the entire time in the hospital. Like, he had to shoot a music video during that time. He was shooting a music video while I had to be being on the phone with me for me to be able to like be okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad. And then my panic attacks, then it got even worse from that because I thought that I guess I would never be the same again.
Yeah,
so I had that fear.
Or you're possibly thinking like, will I ever end up in that? Even though you knew it was the drug, you don't really know. So you're like, what could possibly bring that on again?
Exactly. So I was just tweaking, girl. It was so hard. Like, I just remember one of the panic attacks that stand out the most, I was with my daughter and we were going to go. I wanted to leave the house. So I was like, I need to leave the house. But, you know, I ran the risk of having a panic attack. But I was like, I just need to leave the house. So we went shopping. I took her to Madison Avenue and like we went shopping. But when I got out of the train, I had to go inside this cafe, Dina and DeLuca. For a minute to collect myself because I was so disheveled.
Wow.
And, you know, my daughter was just like, Mommy, what are we doing? And I'm just like, I just need a second.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just like, wow, like that was a really hard moment for sure.
I could only imagine. So now that we're still in New York, when do you pivot? Because I see you in LA now. So I'm like, when do you pivot to LA and when, like, how do we get closer to wellness?
Okay, let's do it.
Which I love talking about as of late. So I think it was kind of, just to backtrack, it was very mature of you at the age of like 21 or 22 to say, like forget the money, like and to acknowledge your actual feelings inside. Yeah, I thought that was like a very that was mature for a 21-year-old.
Yeah, thank you. Looking back on it, I feel like that too. I think that was very mature of me to take notice of that and be like, I want to do something that comes from the heart, right?
Like, yeah, it is very mature, yeah.
Yeah. But I was dating, so LA. So I was dating my ex, who his name is Absol. I'm sure a lot of people know about him. But he was my ex. We were dating for 5 years at the time when I moved to LA. So I moved to LA with my daughter, and we moved in together, like a little family.
Aww. Yeah. So you moved in?
So that's how I got to LA.
Okay.
And then, sorry, I'm like blanking out a little bit with my story. I got to LA. Sorry, I'm like.
You know what it is? It's because we're really hungry. I'm hungry. My stomach is like. Is it ready yet?
I haven't eaten today.
I'm starving. Today, girl. Is it ready yet?
Let's check.
Like my stomach is over here. Like, yo, feed me.
It actually is. It is.
Thank God, I'm starving. Ready. Feed us.
It's ready.
Please.
Sorry, I like lost my train of thought.
It's because you're hungry and the food smells so good.
It's so much to recount. Okay, so I feel like it's done.
Good. Do you want to serve me first or you first?
I got you. Okay, so I come to LA and it was very hard to adjust.
Yeah, because LA compared to New York, oh my God, I would write like little sad poems every day when I first moved here.
It was
I thought I was like the Eminem of just sad, depressing. Yeah. LA sucks compared to New York. The food is terrible. The people are different.
It was hard to adjust, but you know, it worked out. But then I was having issues with my partner, my ex.
Yeah. And it was when you're going through issues with your partner and your kid is involved, is that like add extra pressure? I'm just randomly curious, genuinely curious.
Yeah, because you know your child is watching, so you just like, want to make sure that you're setting an example for your kid. So it does add extra pressure, and again, like we had a long distance relationship, and I didn't really. You don't really get to know somebody very well until you're like living with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he has spoken about, so I feel more comfortable talking about it now because he already talked about it through his music and stuff, and he is still a really dear friend of mine, and I love him so much. But it was like a really hard period living with somebody who was severely depressed and also was struggling with drug addiction. Okay. And at that point in my life, I went to therapy. And I said...
That was your first time going to therapy. Okay.
And I said, why do I keep attracting this in my life? Like, why do I keep attracting people that are broken? And it's because, like, I'm also broken, right? So
is that what you learned in therapy? Is that the reason?
No. Not that I'm broke. Not literally, like, you broken,
No.
Like,
I'm just really curious. I'm curious.
No, but yeah, like, I mean...
Because I wonder that same shit. I'd be like, yo, I attract the same exact person with different outfits. Yeah, because we're a reflection
of us.
Yeah.
Everyone in our lives is a reflection, is a mirror. To something inside of us, right? So I'm like, why? So what it is like my savior complex. Like I just want to save everybody and shit.
Okay.
But I don't take care of myself. I'm doing that better now, but I wasn't taking care of myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was really like the bulk of it. Yeah.
Is that when Dalai Mama enters the picture?
Dalai Mama enters the picture 2020. Okay. Well, the nickname, I've had the nickname though since I was like 21 years old. And it was my ex who gave it to me. Because he came to my house, he saw the Buddha, he saw all of my little wellness stuff, he saw my quotes, and he was like, you like the Dalai Lama? I'm gonna call you the Dalai Mama.
That's cute.
And I was like, that's mad cute. And I just like, it's been stuck since.
Okay.
But 2020, going through a terrible breakup, me and him ended up breaking up. I have to get my own place.
And this is going into the pandemic breakup? Oh, that had to suck.
It sucked. Ended up breaking up officially because, them long-term relationships be on and off for like forever. Could you imagine
breaking up during a pandemic? It's like, how are you going to find somebody to like replace them during a pandemic?
You have to be alone and do the work on yourself.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I was alone for some time afterwards. But he ended up like trying to commit suicide. So he had like thrown himself off of the freeway into the 405. And when all of that was taking place, this was like literally the year after I moved out. It was not that long after when that happened. Dalai Mama was just like, oh, like, this is my purpose. Like, I need to help people with my story and be a testament of my story to let people know that you can make it through all of the adversities that life throws at you, and that you can stand on business despite whatever life throws at you, and you can make that shit look sexy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, then Dalai Mama came about, and this was actually, I had a really good friend of mine named Ariel, and she was like, like, you are just such a wellness person that I just feel like you need to do something with that. And originally, Dalai Mama was going to be called Dolly, like Pitbull's Dolly.
Oh, I like Dalai Mama way better.
Yeah. And then I was like, what? And then my friend was like, why are you, that's your nickname. That's something everybody knows you as that. Like, why are you going to switch it up? And I was like, yeah, that's stupid. Let me not do that. So, yeah.
So, there's a couple questions I have. Well, let's take a bite of the food.
Okay.
Because I have to taste.
I hope it's good, because when you cook with other pots and shit.
I'm starving. I think it could have been grass now.
It's good.
It's good, and there's more. It's all that matters. I thought it was gonna be a lot more saucier. Because the rice absorbed it. Now I'm curious. I keep bringing up the sauce. Do you ever add some of the sauce to the rice if it seems like? Because I low-key want to.
I feel like it's raw garlic and raw peppers and stuff.
But it's saucy.
Yeah.
Can I try it?
Yeah.
I just want to try it.
She's like, but it's saucy.
I like it, but I feel like I'm one of those people that like gooey and messy food.
Yeah.
Do you like that? I like all fattening, gooey, messy.
This would be good with some beans. The beans will add the sauce.
Yeah, I think the beans.
The beans would add the sauce. Yeah.
You know what?
Or a side salad.
The beans.
But this feeds a lot of people, and it's so cheap, and you have carb and protein.
I want to see what happens if I mix it with this sauce, though. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this.
It's good.
Have you ever tried this?
I mean, yeah, I would.
No. Have you ever done it on top of the rice after?
Okay.
I'm gonna change your life. But you can't take that. You cannot take that. You cannot take that sauce with you.
Okay.
I promise you're gonna be doing this after this. It is delicious with it as. Oh my god. Right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that?
I'm not. I mean, I made the shit, but.
But you gotta admit, right?
It's good, yeah. Because I just grew up thinking that that's bad. My mom would be like, "Don't eat it like that," and like smack my hand.
I love it. I hope nobody who your mom's gonna be like, "What?" No, I love this, and
It's not. It's actually just peppers and onions and stuff. So I don't see why not.
It tastes
celery.
I just love it on the rice too. Are you saying that, or are you just?
No, I'm dead ass.
Like, would you ever do this if your mom wasn't around?
And you know what I would do? I would add a chili pepper to make it spicy then. Because you're Jamaican, you like spice.
I like.
You Scotch bonnet. You like Scotch bonnet pepper bay.
I want to touch on two things before we can close out.
Okay.
One, whenever people say holistic in wellness, I'm like, what does that mean? We're eating carrots? Like, what does that mean?
Holistic means,
because I saw that that's a part of your wellness, right?
Holistic means like overall comprehensive that doesn't just encompass like actual health, like organ health or some shit like that. Like it's literally your lifestyle, it's your diet, your mental, it's an overall approach to health. Holistic,
A whole, okay.
Complete.
And then if someone, like, how does someone join Dalai Mama, or how does it work?
Okay, so Dalai Mama is still very much a baby. Dalai Mama is like 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
And right now we are doing events. You can find us on Instagram right now. And we do events I did a retreat in Costa Rica
this
this
is really
year.
good, by the way.
I'm glad you like it.
You're not stuffing my face while you're talking to me? Sorry.
We did a retreat in Costa Rica. We have Bali next year. And what I'm really doing is building, more than anything, I have a product line coming out and all that stuff launching in like 6-7 months, along with website and everything. But more importantly for me, I want to create a real, genuine community.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and I want to take my time with that, and that's why I do these meetups and these hangouts with people. I do a lot of community work and things like that. It's because I really want something I didn't have, which was like community and people talking the way that me and you are talking on the regular, and we're having like-minded conversations for elevation, for growth, and things like that. That's where you go for that, to learn. Dalai Mama is a hub for everything, to learn, to educate yourself, and all of that.
To grow and build a support system.
Build a support system.
And how many trips have you done so far with Dolly? Are you doing your...
This year was my first one in Costa Rica.
And then what happened on the trip? Like, what can people expect?
So on the trip was beautiful. We did a lot of excursions. So we went to like a waterfall. We learned about cacao and the indigenous peoples. So we like hands-on like made chocolate from scratch. And
Was it good? Did you do good chocolate? How'd your chocolate come out?
That's so funny. Did you do good chocolate? Yeah, it was good chocolate.
Teach me how to make chocolate and my life will be complete. You talk about addict. I learned how to make chocolate. It's going to be a problem.
Chocolate? Yeah. So we learned how to do all of that. We went to the rainforest. We learned about the animals, the plants. We did a lot of healing work with ourselves, just like tools that I've learned that have helped me overcome my issues and my hurdles in life are the tools that I'm just like teaching people, like journaling, meditating, like all of that stuff I had to learn so that I can keep it right. You know,
so journaling, you do feel like really does help with wellness? I know people talk about it, but do you really feel like it really does help?
Yeah, it does help. Like putting your thoughts on paper and your feelings on paper, instead of having them in your mind and like bottling it all in, it really helps. And it also helps like when you look back at your journal entries and seeing how far you've come. Yeah. I have like 3 journals from like so many years. Wow. And I love from time to time going back to where I was in 2012.
You be like, thank God I survived that, girl. If only would have known.
Yeah, and then I start getting lately my journal entries are real descriptive. But
do you do like, just random, do you ever do like letters to your younger self?
I feel like I have done that before as an exercise.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel
Did
like
it help or?
I mean, I feel like what those things help is with perspective, like giving you a different perspective in how you view things in life, how you view the things that happen to you in life, or how to become empowered from those things that have happened to us in life. And that's one of the main things for me is like a prevalent theme is empowerment throughout. And that's something I want everybody to feel, is empowered throughout life and no matter what obstacles are thrown at you. And it's not just journaling, it's more than that. It's, you know, it's like when we were on the retreat, it was like we were together for a week and like, you know, we did some exercises, some meditations and some things that changed their perspective on the way they view the world and things like that. So like that's why you come on those trips for like life-changing aha moments that you're like, oh my God, and then you go home and apply it, you know?
Do you ever do you do on the trips, do you take away phones and stuff?
No, I don't.
You know, like don't call your exes, don't search on Instagram. You know,
that's
like,
funny as hell. No, I don't actually, because I'm like, it's not like a ready, close your eyes, hold hands like the whole time. It's like we're kiki, we're shaking ass, we're doing.
Okay, so this is a fun trip. This is like a girls. This is like a girls trip mixed with wellness trip. And are guys allowed to go?
Well,
because it's called Dalai Mama.
No, I know. It's just like right now, I feel like women feel more comfortable with women. Yeah. But I will like to for the men. The men need this a lot.
You can have like a Dolly Papa and a Dolly Mama.
Dolly Papa, that's cute.
Then you got Dolly Kids. Because I tell you right now, my kid's turning, she's going to be Dolly a little hurricane. Okay? It was such a pleasure to eat this food with you. And
thank you.
Julie, oh yeah, you left more in the pot. You know what? I'm realizing as you say why your mom said not to, because when you were describing all the ingredients in here, like I took a big bite of it and I was like, oh, now I get why you don't do.
Because now you
have like
garlic
when
mouth.
I say when I say like, I mean I don't kiss anybody anyways, but my goodness, like I was doing so much of that sauce and then I took a big chunk and I said, oh, there's a reason why they don't do that. Because that's literally just raw. And you kept saying it too.
Like,
and I was like this. I'm like, yo, girl, this is how you do it. And you're like, okay. You do know that's like garlic and vegetables chopped up. I was like, yeah. Now my mouth is just covered in garlic and onion. And I'm like,
it's raw.
Yeah, just eat it when you guys eat it exactly the way she told you to eat it.
Yeah, you gotta cook it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very valuable lesson learned. Trying to chef the chef. And I will say this, I can taste the orange and the lemon.
You can?
Yeah.
Nice.
I can taste it a little bit.
Good.
How can people keep up with you? Sorry, I got a full mouth and I'm talking.
People can keep up on, I'm mostly on Instagram these days and TikTok, but Yaris _Sanchez and Dalai Mama World, Dalai Mama World on Instagram.
And now that's 100% of your focus now.
Yeah, building the community, and but be on the lookout for product line.
I hope it's for like curly hair.
It is for curly hair, for sure.
I always feel like curly hair, no matter like how many brands you're loyal to, someone told me this recently, you just got to switch it up, because once your curly hair conquers a brand and it stops working for you, you got to be like, I know I'm a diehard of this brand, but you're going to have to go out there and try a new brand. Because like, if you don't, because like, I started noticing some of my curls was like, F you, I've been doing this for 10 years, get rid of that shit. We're in 2024, you still in 2014.
You still using horse and mane? What is it?
Oh my God.
Mane and tail?
Let me tell you something. My little brother, he had long hair, and I would go to his house, and he had horse, mane, and tail, and I would be like, how the fuck do you even comb your hair with that shit? That shit was terrible. Like, I feel like my hair knotted up even more, and like...
With that shampoo?
That shit was terrible.
Terrible.
I was like, bro. But no, I just recently started switching it up because I noticed that my curls, especially in the front, they go limp really. I have fine hair. But, they go limp, but if I do switch up the different curling products, like find a different conditioner, my curls will actually come back. I used to think I'd have to cut it off or whatever, but no, it's definitely like you got to switch up your products. Yes. So we'll be looking out for your products.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, I put a lot of love into everything I do, and I don't support shit that is not like legit. So just know that whatever it is that you're supporting from Dalai Mama is coming from a really true place, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've gone on your page, and I will say it was like a peaceful, it looks like you have a good self-care routine, and it's all peaceful and all that. So I was like, okay. Definitely selling that, you know, self-love, self-care thing. I'm slowly getting into that, even though I'm like 40.
It's a journey. Like as we're growing and evolving and becoming different people, we have to then relearn or teach ourselves new ways for this new person we're becoming. Yeah. Or is it like right now I feel like I have to rise up to the occasion. Like right now in my life where I'm at, God is asking of me to rise to the occasion, to stand in my power fully. You know, and really and it's gonna take a lot. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna take a lot, but I'm one of his soldiers.
Well, you stand on your business.
Yes.
So I know it's going to happen, and I look forward to hopefully one day joining the retreat when my daughter's like at least 5. Because obviously you don't want to be a mom on a retreat. It ain't going to be a retreat if your kids show up with you.
No, you don't. You don't. But the retreats are fun. Like the girls, they had so much fun. Like we went on so many adventures, and we went out in the nighttime. Like it's overall... having a balanced life. It's not just like being vegan and then all your problems go away. Like, no, like you can still do the things that you love in moderation.
Yeah.
Still live a healthy, still heal and have fun, or still do the work on yourself and try to erase the trauma, breaking generational cycles and all this, that, and the third, while also having fun. You don't gotta be so serious all the time.
Yeah, you heard it here first. You ain't gotta be so serious, but stand on your business. Thank you so much for your time and feeding me on another episode of Eating While Broke. Peace, y'all.